Hello students, this is Unisha Goswami from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. Students, today in this video we are going to do the revision of chapter number 9, that is time. So please open page number 121 of your book. To read time we use clock. Now as you all know, in a clock there are numbers from 1 to 12 which denotes hours, and the small marking between the two hours denote the minute. So let me just draw the numbers on the clock. Students, these numbers from 1 to 12, these denotes the hours, and the smaller marking here we have marking between the two hours. These denote minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 points between the two numbers. If the hour hand is at any number and if minute hand is at 12, then we read the time as o'clock. For example, if hour hand is at 4 and minute hand is at 12, then we will read this time as 4. So I will write 4, or I can read it as 4 o'clock. So this is how you have to read the time. Students, this needle, this smaller needle, this denotes hour hand, and this bigger needle, this denotes the minute hand. Now let me just explain half past, quarter past and quarter to you. If the minute hand is at 3, then we will read it as quarter past. Now if the minute hand is at 6, then how will we read it? We will read it as half past. And if this minute hand crosses 6, for suppose if this minute hand crosses 6 and suppose it reaches somewhere here, then we will read it as quarter to. How will we read it as? Quarter to. Now students, as you all know, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So this you have to keep in mind while reading the time on the clock. Now let us move on to exercise 9.1 given on page number 124 of your book. In this exercise we are going to do question number 2. So please open page 125 of your book. So we are doing question number 2 of exercise 9.1, which is write the time shown in the clock in 2 ways. You are given a clock and time is shown in the clock. What you have to do? You have to write the time shown in the clock. You have to write the time shown in the clock in 2 ways. Now we are doing B part of question number 2. Now what is given in this clock? We are having this bigger needle which is of minute hand. This is at 1, and this smaller needle that is of hour hand, it is at 7. Now we have to write the time in 2 ways. Now first one, since hour hand is at 7 and the minute hand is at 1, now this is at 1, that means how many minutes? We have to multiply this number by 5 to read it in minutes. When I multiply 1 by 5, I will get 5. That means 5 minutes, and this hour hand is at 7. So the time will be 7:05. Now I have to write it in the other way also. So when the minute hand, this minute hand is at 1, when the minute hand is on the right hand side, means here, suppose we are having between 12 and 6 we are having a line. So this is considered as the right hand side. When the minute hand is on the right hand side, then we read the time as minutes past a given hour. How will we read? We read the time as minute past a given hour. Now how many minutes we are having? 5 minutes, and the given hour we are having is 7. So we will write 5 minutes past 7. This is how you have to write the time in another way. Now let us quickly do C part. Here we are having the hour hand, that is the smaller needle is between 1 and 2. It is not exactly on 2. It is between 1 and 2. And the minute hand, that is the bigger needle, is at 8. Now since the minute hand is at 8, so I have to multiply 8 by 5. So I will get 40. Hence the minute will be 40 minutes. and since it is between 1 and 2, it is about to reach 2, it is not exactly on 2. So how will we write? 1:40. The time will be 1:40, and we will write 40 minutes past 1. The time will be 40 minutes past 1. Now let us do the another part, D part. Now here, this smaller end, that is the R end, it is about to reach 6. It is not exactly on 6, it is about to reach 6. And this minute hand, it is on 11. Means it has crossed this line. Suppose we are having a dotted line between 12 and 6. So it has crossed that line. That means this minute hand is on the left hand side. So whenever the minute hand is on the left hand side, how will we read? We read time as minutes to the next hour. Now minutes to the next hour, that means first of all I will write the time in simple form. This minute hand is on 11, that means I have to multiply 11 by 5. So I will get 55, hence it will be 55 minutes. Now this R hand is about to reach 6, but it is not exactly on 6. That means this will be 5:55. Now how will I write the time in another way? It will be, since this minute hand is on the left hand side, so therefore I will write time as minutes to the next hour. Now the next hour will be 6. It is not 6. It will be 6 only. It will cross this 11. So the next hour will be 6. So how will I write? 5 minutes to 6. 5:55. So the another way is 5 minutes to 6. So students, this is how you have to write the time shown in the clock. Students, now let us move on to the next exercise, that is exercise 9.2, given on page number 126 of your book. So please open page 126 of your book. Let us do question number 2. Now write the time. What you have to do in this question? You are given time now and time after 1 hour. You are given the time and you have to write the corresponding time after 1 hour. So let us do A part. Question number 2. Now A part. Now time now. We are having two columns, time now and time after 1 hour. Now if we are having, suppose now we are having 5 o'clock, next we are having 8 o'clock, next we are having 10 o'clock, and then we are having 11 o'clock. So we are having the time now. This is the time now, means time at present. You have to write time after 1 hour. Suppose right now the time is 5 o'clock, after 1 hour means we have to add 1 to this given number. So 5 plus 1 will be 6, means after 1 hour it will be 6 o'clock. So I will write 6 o'clock in this column. Now let us do the next part, 8 o'clock. Now the time now is 8 o'clock. If I have to add 1 to it, so 8 plus 1 will be 9 o'clock. Means I have to add 1 hour. In the next part we are having 10 o'clock, so time after 1 hour will be 11 o'clock. You have to add only 1 to this number. Now if time now is 11 o'clock, time after 1 hour will be 12 o'clock. So this is how you have to do the next questions also. Now let us do D part of question number 2. Now what is given in D part? Time now. We are having this time now. What we have to do? We have to write time 2 hours before. Means हमें पहले का time लिखना है. So if time now is 3, that means we have to write time 2 hours before. So we have to subtract 2 from 3. So 3 minus 2 will be 1. Hence time before 2 hours will be 1. So this is how you have to do these questions. Now let us do question number 3. Now what is given in question number 3? How many hours will be there in 2 days, 5 days and 1 week? So here we are doing B part. what we have to do in this question? We have to find out how many hours will be there in 5 days. B part is 5 days. Now, as you all know, one day is equal to how many hours? 24 hours. So we have to find out the number of hours in 5 days. So therefore 5 days will be 5 multiplied by 24 hours. So when you multiply 5 by 24, 5 4s are 20, 2 carry, 5 2s are 10, 10 plus 2 will be 12. We get 120. Hence, in 5 days, number of hours will be 120 hours. This is how you have to do this question. What you have to do, you have to only multiply this given number by 24 because 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Now, let us do question number 4 given on page number 127 of your book. Calculate the number of minutes in 4 hours, 6 hours and 1 day. We are doing B part, that is 6 hours. Question number 4, B part is 6 hours. What you have to do in this question? You have to calculate the number of minutes in given hour. Now, as you all know, 1 hour is equal to how many minutes? 60 minutes. So therefore, 6 hours will be 6 multiplied by 60 minutes. So when you multiply 6 by 60 means we have to speak only the table of 6. 6 6 are 36. So we'll put 0 after 36. So it will be 360 minutes. That means 6 hours will have 360 minutes. What you have to do? You have to only multiply this 6 by 60 because 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay students, now let us take our another topic, that is calendar. Now as you all know, a year means 1 year has 12 months. 12 months, that is 365 days, 52 weeks. So if we talk about a year, it has 12 months, 365 days and 52 weeks. Now we have leap year also. Now what is a leap year? A leap year is 366 days, means it has one more extra day. Why? Because as you all know, February has 28 days, but when a leap year occurs, it has one more extra day. That is, February has one more day extra. That is, February has 29 days instead of 28 days. So whenever we are having a leap year, February will have one more day. So it will be having 29 days instead of 28 days. Now, as you all know, 1 week has 7 days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Now let me just tell you what is a leap year. A leap year has 366 days. A normal year has 365 days, but whenever there is a leap year, it will have one more extra day. Why it will have one more extra day? Because if we are having a normal year, it has February has 28 days, but if we have a leap year, then February will have one more extra day, means February has 29 days instead of 28 days whenever there is a leap year. Now whenever a year is divisible by 4, then it will be considered as a leap year. For example, suppose let us talk about 2008. Let us talk about year 2008. Now let me just divide it by 4. Now 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 4 5s are 20. Now I have got 25 times in the table of 4. So 20 minus 20 will be 0. Now bring this 0 down. 4 zeros are 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Bring this 8 down. Now 4 2s are 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. Now we get the question 502, but here we will see that the remainder here is 0. So whenever we get the remainder 0, then that year will be considered as a leap year. Therefore 2008 is a leap year. So what you have to do? You have to you have to look at the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then that year is considered as leap year, and if the remainder is not 0, then that year is not considered as a leap year. Now let us understand more about calendar with the help of exercise 9.3 given on page number 128 of your book. Now question number 2, fill in the blanks. Now let us see C part. The 5th month of the year is dash. What you have to do? You have to find out the 5th month of the year. So let us start with the first month, January, February, March, April. Now 4th month is April. So 5th month will be May. After April we have May. Hence the answer is May. Now let us see D part. If the last month was September, what will be the next month? Means if the last month, the month which is already gone, is September, if it was September, then what will be the next month? Means the last month was September. That means the month at present is October. Hence, what will be the next month? The next month after October will be November. The next month will be November. Hence, the answer is November. So, we will write in D part November. Now, let us see H part. 2 months after October is dash, means you have to find out 2 months after October. So we are having October, November, December. Now 2 months after December we are having January. So we will write January, not December, because in the question we are asked to find out 2 months after October. After October, November, December, and then it will be January. Hence the answer is January. So this is how you have to do these questions. Okay. Now let us do question number 3, match the columns. Now you are given in column A, Teachers Day, Republic Day, Gandhi Jayanti, Independence Day, Christmas, Children's Day. And in column B you are given some dates. What you have to do? You have to match the dates of these days. So A part is Teachers Day. As you all know, Teachers Day is celebrated on 5th September. Hence the answer is 5th September. Now B part, Republic Day. As you all know, Republic Day is celebrated on 26th January. Hence the answer is 26th January. So 5 part is the answer. So this is how you have to do the rest of the questions. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 5. Which of these are leap years? You are given some years. What you have to do? You have to find out which of these are leap years. So to find out whether a year is a leap year or not, we have to divide it by 4. So let us take C part. Now what is C part? Question number 5. C part is 2007. So let us divide it by 4 to find out whether it is a leap year or not. 2007. Now 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16, 4 fives are 20. So 20 minus 20 is 0. Bring this 0 down. 4 zeros are 0. 0. Now again bring this 7 down. 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. Now since 8 is greater than 7, so we will take 1 times. 4 ones are 4. Now 7 minus 4 is 3. Now here we get remainder 3. Since, as I told you, if we are left with 0 remainder, then it will be considered as leap year. But here we are having remainder 3. Hence it is not considered as leap year. So what you have to do? You have to look at the remainder only. Then only you will find whether a year is a leap year or not. So students, with this we have come to the conclusion of revision of chapter number 9. I hope you understood well. Work hard and practice at home. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you.